Hey everybody, welcome to Between the Speakers, brought to you by FUSER. I'm your host, Simon Rex, and I'm holding this microphone at a very weird angle. How are you guys? I'm great. I'm moving the microphone again. Listen, I'm very excited about today's guest. His name is Trevor Wallace. He's one of my favorite comedians, YouTube stars, Instagram stars, Vine stars. He's the future. Remember him. You saw him here first. Well, no, you didn't see him here first. You already saw him on your Instagram. You saw him on social media. He's everywhere, and I'm excited to get him on. I've worked with the guy once before, so I'm just getting to know him, so can't wait to kind of dig in and see what his hair looks like, because he's a cute boy. He's a California crispy, and he gets it. Comedy's one of those things. It's like, I don't know if it's learned. I want to talk to him about that because I feel like he's got that natural instinct. Okay, anyway, thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. Yes, thank you so much. You know, I'm feeling good. I think exercise is an important component to life. You know, I feel that personally, I went for a little bit run today before I came here, woke up. I'm trying to stay healthy, and it's not that easy to stay motivated. So my theory is this: get it over with early in the morning, all right? If you start thinking about it too much and it's like 2, 3 p.m., you're not going to get a good workout. And so I want you to get up in the morning, stretch it out. I want you to morning stretch, okay? Stretch out, hang on a pull-up bar if you can, get one in your doorway. Hanging is very important. You open up the lymphatic system, the lower lumbar. We sit a lot. We sit in cars. We sit at desks. Our lower back, strenuous. Yes, stretch it out. Isaac here is stretching. So you basically want to just keep the back. The spine is the integral part of the human condition. So if you keep that lymphatic regalia open, we're going to be okay. So I want you to hang from a pull-up bar. I want you to do basic stretch, right? I have a black belt. There you go. I have a black belt in yoga, so I don't want you guys to think for a minute that I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm a 3rd-degree black belt in yoga. And not only that, I care about your body, because it's one of the only things that we got left right now is our body. Well, you have your mind and your soul, but the body is something that you need to keep crispy just so you could feel good. You know, if you don't get enough sleep, you don't hydrate, you're not going to feel good in your brain. It's all connected. It's all one. And I think it's super important that you hydrate orally like this. Watch. That's not that hard. I need you guys to do that every day. And don't drink soda pop, okay? Once in a while, you can have a Coke, the baby Coke, the small ones. But I don't want you guys to put that high fructose corn syrup in your body, because simply put, it's not good for you, although it tastes good. I remember this kid in my high school did an experiment where he took one of his teeth, maybe it was middle school, and he put it in a glass of Coca-Cola overnight, and it dissolved the tooth completely. The tooth was gone pretty quick. I didn't even think it was overnight. It was like 2 hours. So if you have a child and they pull one of their teeth out, put it in the Coke and see what happens, baby. Or any soda. You ever seen Mountain Dew teeth? Go Google that. Woo, that's the craziest one. My point being, we need you guys to stay healthy, strong, and happy. And it's very important you do so, just so we can continue this cyber relationship and I can be your life coach, spiritual coach, personal athletic coach. Again, I have no license in this. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I got a pretty good feeling, and I go with gut. Another thing you want to do is breathe. It's something that I need to do. I want you to do it with me, okay? I want everyone to go like this. One more. And if you do that throughout the day, see, they said that breathing is one of the only things that we do consciously and subconsciously, and blinking. I just burped. And you want to be cognizant of your breath and not just do it. You don't want to be a mouth breather. This is a mouth breather. You want to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. And be just aware of your breath. That changes everything. It changes your neurological condition. It changes your biofeedback mechanism, and it changes your rigatoni surplus. Again, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm having a good time doing it. So I want, again, stretch, water orally, get your rest. And if you're going to exercise, combine it with a healthy diet, you know. I'm a big fan of eating good meat. You don't need to go vegetarian, vegan, or anything, but I just want you to be healthy, happy, and crispy. And, oh, man, I feel like if we reach out to Trevor right now, he's going to be in his cute little apartment somewhere here in Southern California, and we could just dig in and see how that brilliant mind of his gets to work. So let us see if Trevor's home. Bam! All right, welcome to the show, Trevor Wallace. What's up, baby?
Drum roll. Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
You're young, you're handsome, you're talented. How do you do it? What's the secret?
Dude, I walked into this on accident. I've just never been athletic or good at math or school. And I tried comedy when I was like 17 doing stand-up, and I was like, oh, this shit's kind of tight.
So real quick, so I'm interested in your story because you're one of the few, and I don't mean this to be mean to other people out there. You're one of the few YouTube social media guys that came up under that world that I think, oh, he's gonna be in movies, TV, like you're gonna go bigger. So you got the goods. Like if I'm Jewish, so part of me has like the Jewish age. Are you?
Yeah,
Oh,
come on now.
damn! Look,
We out here.
we out here, dude.
Well, my dad's Christian, mom's Jewish, but how that works in Judaism, mom's like, you want these tits or not? So you sign it up or what? So
so if your mom's Jewish, you're Jewish. Like you're Jewish.
Yeah, exactly.
I digress. Now you come from California, right?
Yeah. I was born in Chicago, but I don't really count it because I was there for like 2 years. Then my mom was like, it's cold.
That doesn't count. But so you emerged out of mommy's body at Chicago, raised in California, and you adapted to a Southern California climate.
Oh, so quick.
Okay.
It's amazing.
And who inspired you? Who inspired you comedically? Who did you see and be like, oh man, I got,
I mean, dude, it was a lot of like probably like a lot of your friends, like Nick Swartzen and, like Malibu's Most Wanted. When I watched that growing up, I was like Jamie Kennedy. Like stuff like that. Robin Williams, Mrs. Doubtfire was like my favorite movie when I was like 8 or something.
All right.
So a lot of that, Sandler early on, I was like my favorite. Like Happy Madison Productions, like all that stuff is like incredible. So kind of just like those guys that would just like, they would roll with a pack of people. And that's kind of what I want to do today is just like keep filming shit with your friends. Sandler did that so well. And, you worked with so many of the same people. It's like, that's kind of the best because you're just building chemistry. And that's why everybody books their friends to do shit. It's like, I don't want to have a co-star who I don't know, but it's like, oh, if I know this person's chemistry, it shows on camera.
Man, you're wise beyond your years because that is so important. There's so many times I've done a job where they're like, okay, let's mix and match, and and they would do chemistry reads. I remember they would like, I don't mean to talk about myself, but I want to just have a conversation with you. I'm working on that. I'm working on it's selfish, it's rude, and it's arrogant, and I'm not a narcissist, but I like to communicate. So I agree. You said a good point. It's this. I've done so many jobs where they give you somebody on a chemistry read and you're like, hey, nice to meet you. Now you play my girlfriend and I don't even know you and roll. And you're like, well, who is this human?
Yeah.
You're very right. Just keep it in the family. Keep working with your crew. And I honestly think that's a great formula. You're right. That's a really good one, dude. You're a smart man. We shot one thing together at the mall with Young Gravy and Shirley's, which was, what was the skit again? It was just like getting robbed by rappers.
Yeah, it's like these two Beavis and Butthead type characters we do, Travis and Kyler. Just like these small town bros who like no demeanor in life and they make it out to like the real world. And then we see Young Gravy and we're like, yo, bro, is that like is that like a hologram? And then we have the interaction,
right?
And then you come up and rob us,
right?
And we're like, "Aren't you the dude?" And you're like, "Nah."
Yeah.
And then you just steal the shit and then ride off with Young Gravy. Yeah.
I like how you guys shoot. You guys just shoot fun, no script, improv, just real rogue. I always feel that's the best magic when you just like the funny. It's just funny. Like the funniest stuff happens again. I was just talking about this. No plan is the best plan. If you just kind of have a loose idea, like the best shows, like Curb Your Enthusiasm, there's no script. They're like, here's what's happening. You walk in the room and you're mad that I took this action, and magic happens.
Because you're thinking about being in character, not thinking about your lines.
Yes.
And ultimately, the goal to get your lines down is so you can be in character. But if you're just acting like that character, what you say almost makes sense on the paper. And that's kind of like a lot of those shows, like Reno 911, like that shit is like... Exactly. Just hit this and do that. So I love shit like that. I've never been good at memorizing my lines. I always paraphrase. I suck at auditions.
Yeah.
I've gone out for some cool shit and I haven't booked anything because I'm too in my head about being like, did I say that right? Did I hit that? It's like, dude, I'm not myself.
Yeah, look, that's a real tough. That's the hardest part of the whole game is the audition process. Once you get the job and you're in the world and you got the outfit on and you're in the set, you're like, oh, I'm here. This is great. But the audition, there's no way you could just sit in that waiting room and you're looking at 8 other actors who are competitive and you got to go in the room and go be fun. Like that's the hardest part of the game, dude. Straight up.
Yeah. I wish it worked like, hey, just trust me, I got this. Because they're like, nah, we got to like see it to believe it. But that's why creating your own shit.
Thank you. I was about to say, you do create your own shit, so they do see it and believe it, and then they look at your numbers and they look at like your following, and they're like, oh, let's give this guy the job. So I feel like that's just what's going to happen, especially down the line, is you put out enough work on your own, people are just going to hire you. This is how it could work. Like I could show you to Swartzen if he doesn't know you by now. Swartzen shows it to Sandler at Happy Madison. Next thing you know, you're doing coke in the Riviera. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, 1, 2, 3, bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, I actually met Nick, and that's like I thought his one of his comedy specials, Seriously Who Farted, was
Yeah.
like that was like my bread and butter for like because it was like broy, but it was fun. It wasn't controversial, and it's like you leave just laughing. You're not like, oh, he pushed the line. You're like,
Right.
that's funny. I like that. I don't do really political shit,
Nah.
you
Smart.
know. And I think, yeah, it's I don't know enough about it, so I don't want to be opinionated on something I don't have an opinion on.
Oh, God, I wish more people were like you, because that's how I feel too. I always say that I'm not educated enough to talk about this, but I will make fun of conspiracy theorists, but that's a whole nother angle. Now, real quick, so some of the characters that you do obviously hit and resonate more, like Kyler, is that a combination of Kyle and Tyler? It's a very white name.
Yeah, we just thought of like the most like generic.
Yeah.
If you're like if you're on a game show and it's like a name of somebody who is useless, you'd be like Kylie. Like it's just
it's like a male Kylie Jenner. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I met some dude at the beach the other day. His name was like Shaden.
Oh man.
And I was just like, where do you even
Where
does that come from? Sean and Hayden?
Yeah.
Shaden?
Yeah. That's
I don't know. Names are getting weird. We're just combining too many names right now. Like it's too weird. Skyler, Skyden. Just like these are all just video game names at this point.
Dude, it's so true.
Skyden. Skyden's revenge. No, Skyden works at an AutoZone.
Right.
What is his revenge?
Right. Stand-up is something do you miss? I recently, I just heard here in the studio that you did a stand-up at a drive-in and they honked to do applause. Is that true?
Yeah, they honk and flash their brights.
Dude, tell me about that.
It was interesting. So originally I wasn't missing stand-up a crazy amount in the beginning because nobody else was doing it. So there wasn't any like, I don't like the word FOMO, but you know what I mean? Like, I didn't feel like I was missing out because nobody nationwide was doing stand-up. Then when shows slowly started to come back, I was like, all right, like what's the move here? And then I got offered, or this rapper Kyle, who's from kind of my same area, and he's like pretty big. So I saw him doing a show there, and we're tight. So I was like, yo, let me open. And he was like, all right. So it was meant just for like a music performance, a 360 stage in a parking lot, right? And it held up to like 600 cars, and I think there was like 300 there. But it was weird because like people were outside of their car, but comedy works best in a small room where laughter, you know, hits and stays in there. So this, like the laughter, not only was it outside, but it was 360. So there's no way to get laughter like trapped. So I talked to some other dudes who did some outside shows, and they're like, honestly, just like listen for one car that's laughing the most and like guide them. Let them guide you. So if they were like, if there was a group of like, I don't know, like 6 kids out front of like a 4Runner and they were laughing, I was like, that's my gauge, because everything else is too hard.
So you mean you focus in on them and keep giving them the gold so they feed?
Yeah. I would let their energy be the whole crowd's energy, which is, who knows if that was good logic, but it made it feel more comfortable. Because like a lot of comics do like these Zoom shows, or I did one for the Laugh Factory that was straight, you couldn't hear any audience. It was straight to their live feed. And so you'd say a joke and literally like it was an empty room. So
yeah, that's weird. I've been noticing that a lot lately on like these people are taking turns hosting the Jimmy Kimmel show, and they're just doing it from like their living room. And it's so weird to hear comedy without a laugh. It's really hard. I mean, the biggest comics, Sebastian Maniscalco, Whitney Cummings, they're all hosting it and they're monsters. And it's still like that weird silence. Just there's something that's obviously missing when you don't. It's not that you don't know when to laugh, but the flow gets messed up because they don't know where to go off of, and it's tough. That's tough, dude. Even the best have a hard time.
Like laugh tracks might be, if it's genuine laughter, it does tell your brain to laugh.
Yep.
Because when you're watching somebody's Netflix special, I'm watching, I'm like, oh, that's funny. Yeah. Like, oh, that's funny. But I'm not out loud laughing. But if I'm there in the room with them, I'm like, oh fuck, this is killer.
You're right. That's interesting. Laughing out loud takes a lot, dude. And you're right about the small room, because I've seen big comics do the outdoor thing, and there's something about that. I didn't think about the acoustics, but you're right. There's something intimate about laughing, and they laugh. Okay, I can laugh. It's okay. Like humans kind of follow, you know, they're mostly like, yeah. So I think that,
exactly. If my neighbor's laughing, I'm probably going to laugh, or I'm going to be like, oh fuck, what I missed. Like, what are you guys talking about?
Right.
That outside shit, it doesn't build on anything.
Right.
And then that's like, when comics get that tag after tag after tag after tag, it builds in that room. So outside, you're just like, each joke is its own like path.
Yeah. And what about crowd work? Have you got into that yet, where you like freestyle and like see someone's shirt and be like, oh, I'm gonna go in on that shirt, or because there's a way to do it without being mean. You know what I mean? It's a tricky one.
Yeah, I don't ever want to be mean. And I think every comedian has had something where they say something where they think it's gonna get like a big pop or laugh. Like fucking with somebody, be like, oh man, look at this dude out here, he got one eye and a fedora,
Right,
and you think he's gonna hit it, and the crowd's like silent, and you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, dude, that can't bomb because then you're a dick and then you lost them.
Exactly. And I've had that happen. So I usually be like pretty generic with it.
Right.
But I mean, my audience is just like just pumped up. There's jacked to be there. So if I walk up on stage and some dude's got like a tap out shirt and the sleeves cut off, something as simple as like, oh, this fucking guy. Okay, this guy gets it. Cut off, tap out,
right,
front row, perfect.
Right.
Like that. People are just like, all you're doing is saying what people are thinking.
Totally.
If you can hit that mark, then you're not like bullying,
right?
Because you're just like, oh yeah, you sat up front in capris as a dude. Yeah, I'm gonna say something.
Right. And it's like the old adage it says it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And even when you just did that right there, it wasn't mean. Like you were smiling and having fun. Whereas like if somebody's really mean and they got bad intentions, it's just not funny. Yeah. At least to me, like mean comedy has never been funny. Like you got to stay likable. You know what I mean? Especially like. Yeah, you'll lose them. Yeah,
your material has to match your meanness. You can't be a dick to somebody then be like, puppies are cute, right?
Right. Unless your character just has no memory and he just wipes every time with the Men in Black.
Which is also a funny concept.
Yeah, that's a good one. We got to shoot again sometime. If you ever need like a guy who's starting to get gray whiskers and he's Jewish and he's got a Mediterranean tan, but he's somehow still in shape, but inside he's dying, but he's got like still got hair left, but his teeth are mostly white. But inside he doesn't know his preference on a lot of food options. I'm your guy.
Teeth are great. Yeah. No, I'd love to shoot some more stuff. And we only got a quick glimpse of working together.
Yeah.
But,
we'll do more.
Yeah.
I just shot some with your boy Churdleys recently. And tell me, how did you guys meet? And you guys seem to have a great chemistry together. How did y'all meet?
Yeah, it's kind of just like a random coincidence that turned out to be like a blessing in disguise, really. So Instagram, I saw his videos online and I was like, oh, these are good quality. And he had this like frat guy character. And then I was like, okay, that resonates with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I DM'd him and there was just like, and then he was playing hard to get. He followed me on a second account, not his main account. And then I was like, yo, let's shoot this and that.
Yeah.
Back and forth for a little bit. And then we finally, because I had a day job at the time. So he'd be like, yeah, all right, can you film Tuesday at 2? And I'm like, yeah, no, I can film Saturday at any time.
Right.
And then eventually we filmed something, and the one we filmed ended up being our biggest video. His biggest video on his channel is like, it's called "Is It Chill If I Chill Here?" And that's with those two Travis and Kyler characters. And honestly, we shot for like an hour, and I was unfamiliar with how we shot, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck we just made. I don't know what just happened. Like, surely I thought like, all right, there's at least a minute of good shit in there. And he posted this like crazy trimmed down 10-minute version. And like it just banged, and then like this 1 minute clip from that video like took off kind of everywhere, and then it just like exploded. And then after that I was like, yo, let's shoot some more shit.
Yeah.
So the chemistry just was like, it just felt like we had been shooting for years the first time we filmed.
No, that's a good thing. It's almost like the same thing with a woman. Like you if there's chemistry, it's on. If not, it ain't going nowhere. And you guys definitely got the chemi. You guys, it's all in the editing. I think it was Jack Nicholson said movies are made and ruined in the editing room, because he's shot movies and he was like, oh, this is gonna be great, and then he goes to see it. He's like, what happened? You butchered it. Or you could make something out of nothing. So editing's so important, man. And you guys are not the only ones. I'm sorry, I don't want to say that, but you guys, I feel that anybody could put shit up on YouTube, so that it's not really like it's regulated by casting directors in Hollywood going, no, we're gonna put, like, anyone could put shit on YouTube. But you guys have something that is unique and original and a style, and like even though like maybe it's been done before, kind of like the shaky zoom ins, but it's so specific. Yeah. Like there's even a comic timing to the way your camera guy knows when to zoom in, and it flows, man. It's
yeah, like you said, editing is a whole other joke. So I think the zoom is another joke, because it's an emphasis.
Yes.
It's telling your eyes where to look.
Yes.
And it's like less is more. So I don't even have to say anything, but my reaction with the zoom, I mean, the shows like The Office and Parks and Rec and Reno 911 master that kind of handheld zoom shit. And like, I live by that. I feel like bad shooting shit on a tripod. I'm like, this shit is boring. That's what I learned in film school. It's like good roll and then like a slow pan. I want like, because the attention span, like Vine didn't last, which by the way, Your Steven character on Vine was like, this shit was my favorite.
Oh,
like,
thank you, man. Yeah,
I
he
used to
was
always
gay.
show that to me and my buddy Jared used to just like crack up
He
with
was
that.
gay. My mom was upset with me. She goes, Simon, you can't put out a gay. Imagine if that came out now in this political climate. But the character was a very likable gay man who was my twin brother, and the gay community loved it.
Right,
Very
you weren't bashing.
right. It was like he was cute and likable, and it wasn't mean. And that was the thing. I never made it mean. It was never making fun of gay. He was just he wanted to party, you know, and he loved me, which was weird. It was very narcissistic. He loved his twin brother. Yeah.
I thought Steven was so funny.
Oh, dope. Yeah, you did Vine too, right? That was your first jump off was Vine, huh?
Yeah, so I dabbled and I had like 2 videos get some like decent views. Then I was like, and it's not like I had a big page or anything. I wasn't like King Batch 2.0, but
Right.
it showed that like you can put out a video and it can do well and you can get like followers from it, which sounds dumb, but like just seeing how the process works, like, oh, it's kind of addicting. It's like a gambling thing. We're like, oh fuck, let me make another one.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna make another one. And then
yeah, Vine was fun. The 6-second loop. I just had Brittany Furlon on here, and we were talking about there's something about that 6-second loop that just did the brain. There's something about that repetitiveness at that exact. I don't know who thought of 6 seconds, but if it was 5 seconds or 7 seconds, it wouldn't have been as funny. And then once it went into like minute-long format, it kind of lost the magic, and people started uploading pre-shot, overproduced shit, and it was like, this ain't the magic, baby. It's too overthought. You're thinking too much.
Well, what's also nice is everybody had a chance because you'll watch 6 seconds of anything. Right. Everybody would be like, even if I didn't know who you were, I'd be like, oh, I'll give 6 seconds of my
right.
pretentious quote unquote life. Even though I'm laying in bed covered in Cheetos. It's like, but you give everybody a chance. That's kind of what TikTok does right now. But like 6 seconds, you're like, I'll just scroll, and then like you can get a perfectly timed joke right in there, and then that's it. Like it's ba.
Yep.
So the format was quick.
Yeah, it's comedies. Yeah. Sorry.
And now they're working backwards because they want like Instagram wants to be like 3 minutes, Facebook's 3 minutes. It's so like there's so many formats right now. It's kind of weird, but
it doesn't matter.
YouTube, some for TikTok, like it just wherever you fit in. I guess.
Yeah, it's like, well, it doesn't matter. Like if there's a good TV show on, it doesn't matter if it's on USA or Discovery Channel. You'll find it if it's good. You'll find it. But TikTok, I haven't made that jump yet. But you probably do well on TikTok. I don't know why I feel like I feel like a pervert on there. It's just children dancing half naked that are women, aren't women. They're kids.
Yeah, it's there's 2 sides of TikTok. There's that weird side that I stay away from, but there are like I found some like pretty funny other comedians on there, and like I'll be like, yo, we should shoot like some good stuff. So I mean, what's funny is like you have years and years of experience, and you know you did Vine very well. So if you just apply that, and like it's hard because TikTok you can just scroll for. I mean the interface is crazy usable. It's just like channel flipping.
Really. So, I gotta check it out.
Shit, but also nobody on there is like experienced comedically.
Right.
So it's like, and I just uploaded all my old YouTube shit on there at first. You could just upload Steven shit for days.
Somebody already did that because people are telling me I've been seeing all your stuff on TikTok. So somebody took all my old Vines and put them up. So good for them. I don't care as long as people are laughing. But can you monetize TikTok? Are you getting paid on that?
No, not right now.
I don't care.
I think somehow that's the hard part.
Yeah. I just don't want attention anymore. I just want to eat sushi. So I don't care about people being like, I saw you on it. Like I've been there, done that. I want sushi. I want to take you to sushi. I want to buy you hamachi kori. I want to buy you that sounds, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Chicken statutory. So there's also another thing I wanted to ask you about. Where are you writing screenplays / producing pilots? What's the next step?
Yeah, so right now I'm pitching a show, and the process I'm not used to is so slow, but it has to be.
Arduous is the word. Arduous.
Yeah,
I like that word.
Yeah, I don't know what that word means.
It's
but
cool.
It sounds
Look it up.
smart.
Yeah, it sounds
like
smart.
that's it. Yeah, but it's like the process. But I mean that makes sense because they've been doing this shit for years and years and years, and these apps come and go. So, they're doing it the right way, but I'm just not used to it because I'm used to the way of like, I get an idea, I call Chad, we film it, I put it out. 3 days later, I'm like, look at this thing I had an idea about.
Dude, see, that's not a problem. It's a good thing. But I kind of went backwards. Like I went from doing TV and film to social media stuff. So I was like, oh my God, this is such a quick turnaround thing that I could control. I don't got to leave it up to 17 people to edit and shoot and and by the time you see it in the end, 1 million people touched it and it's over. You're like, I'm over it. It's done. Like, it's weird.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just so like diluted and
too many people get their hands on it.
I just like having control to edit, because I'm sure you've done takes where you're like, you guys picked that one.
That's all that happens, dude. And then I guess what I get, when you're working for some big company that's paying you and they're doing, it's like, all right, you guys pick, I guess, but that ain't the one. You guys are messing up. You know, that happens all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's interesting. But so I'm pitching that right now, and it's like a scripted show where I play like 3 of the characters, and it's based on like an outlet mall, and it's like all different characters, and then like Chad would be in it, Churdley's, and like it's just kind of like I just think outlet malls are hilarious because they're just so like run down. So it's based on like the people that work there. So
you find the comp, yeah, dude. You find. So I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm really rude. Forgive me.
What are you saying?
I said forgive me. I cut you off. Very rude.
Oh, no, you're good.
There's a glitch in the matrix. Now, you always find the comedy in scenarios that maybe most people wouldn't find funny, but then if you think about it, like, I never thought about outlet malls as funny, but now that you mention it, yeah, that shit is funny. You buy a fucking shirt that's got a weird stitch in it for $40 less, and you're balling, but it's kind of sad at the same time, and you're being cheap. But I get it. And then you also find, like, I remember I saw one you did the other day that was like the guy who folds his beanie. I'm like, dude, that's fucking brilliant, yet so simple.
It's that extra layer. It's like, for me, comedy gold is shit that's been untouched. So it's kind of like the beanie one was that all that video was like a hipster, but it's more so it's the small points that'll make people click.
Yes.
And something like an outlet mall is so funny to me because my hometown had an outlet mall in Camarillo. You know that?
Yeah, Camarillo, beautiful mountains.
Yeah. So there's an outlet mall there, and that's all the town's known for. But like, I would always go there. And like when I was in a frat, I would get like Ralph Lauren, but he was riding like a goat and not a horse.
Right.
Like shit like that. Like it's so funny to me because like that's the only way people knew my town. They're like, yo, you from Camarillo? What's that? I was like, we got outlet mall there? I know where that is.
Yeah. Well, Camarillo, not many people know this, is actually Spanish for outlet mall. So
exactly, yeah.
It's, the conquistadors settled in 1872 and said, this is where we will put those. So you come from a long line of historical regalia, just so you know.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
not
saying?
to brag here, but I just think it's funny to put comedy in shit that's not necessarily funny.
Yes. Brilliant. Dude, you got it. Look, I don't think comedy's learned. I think you either are born with that sense, or because I've been to improv classes when I lived in New York. I went to try an improv class, and I was like, dude, nobody in here is funny. My crew is funnier than everybody in here, and these people ain't getting any funnier. And I remember just sitting back like, I know it's subjective. Comedy is subjective. It's like, that's a beautiful painting. Well, who's to say if it is or not? But comedy, it's like, it's a weird thing. Like, I hold it to such a high standard because, like, growing up, everything was about being funny, dude. That's the way you get a girl. That's the way you make friends. That's the way you get through life, is like laughing at the crazy shit. So, and it looks, to be honest, it's also, I think, kind of a Jewish trait. We find the comedy in torture and shit,
Yeah, I mean, that's literally it. Because like that was what I went with, because I was never athletic. I was always like the runt of the group. So like that's all I really had to offer,
Yeah, well, it's working out for you. Real quick, are you a video gamer? What did you ever get into gaming?
Yeah, dude, I like Call of Duty. Call of Duty and like Madden are like my go-to.
Okay. PlayStation, Xbox, what are you?
Xbox guy all the way.
Really?
Never been a PlayStation guy. Always Xbox.
You like the big remote?
Yeah, I like holding that Ford F-350 and just going after it. I don't know, something about it. It feels more like I'm in control. PlayStation, the controller, I don't know, it feels like a husk of corn.
Yeah, dude. Okay, I got you. I want to show you a clip of the game real quick. This is basically the latest in music video game regalia, where you get to be a DJ. Can you see this? That's a little clip. So as you can see, you take the parts from different songs like Nelly, Hot in Here, mixed it with Whitney Houston, and you combine and do mashups where you're combining parts from different songs, and you just are basically an EDM star in your living room at Ibiza, Coachella, Burning Man.
That's tight. I've said this before on different like things, but if I never got into comedy, I think I would have wanted to do DJing. I just think like any live reaction is super tight. So if you're mixing and you get the right like mix, the crowd's like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Did he just mix Carly Rae Jepsen with Metallica?
Yes.
So like I've always loved that, and that's why like I'm so intrigued by like meeting some of these guys who do this professionally, and I'll mess around on like stuff like this, or even like it was like Cloud FX or something I used to do in college when I was bored, and I'd like mix 2 songs, and I'd be like, well, I'm Tiesto. So
right. Dude, you shoot with Dylan Francis, right? He's a big DJ guy.
Yeah, that's who, like, he was so casual. I was like, dude, you're like a world-renowned DJ.
Yeah, he's the down-to-earth boy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the best people in Los Angeles are.
Yeah, there's a few of us.
Where, like, I remember a funny story. I went to the Bay Area for college. San Jose,
Yep.
if you claim that as the Bay, do
Yeah,
people
that's.
claim
I mean,
San Jose?
when you're in the Bay, it's kind of like, eh. I mean, it's not. But it's the Bay. Yeah, you're all right.
It's
The
like when
408,
you're in the
baby.
Bay, they don't claim it, but if people from outside
Yes.
the Bay talk shit, you're like, hey, leave them
Right.
alone.
Right. No. Yeah, we're
All right?
Sharks fans, though. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hockey season around,
Right. Right.
big Bay fans.
Right.
So when I was in college in like 2014 or 2015, I remember me and all my frat bros were just so gone. And then we went and saw him perform at our school. And then like 4 or 5 years later, I'm like filming with him. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
crazy. But
Yeah. That's what it's
I
all
didn't even
about.
remember
Man.
that until I was like, wait a second.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Because
think I was like hammered at one of your shows.
Yeah, Dylan does a lot of comedy videos. He's maybe the only DJ to do like what he does. It's crazy. You know, he just doesn't. He has a good sense of humor, and he's willing to laugh at himself. Yeah, that's the homie for years. It's so rad to see him like killing it. I remember just watching him blow up and getting so big. And he's one of those DJs that's so good he just uses his name, Dylan Francis.
So I was thinking about that the other day.
Yeah.
They're like, what's your DJ name? And you're just like, oh, Simon Rex.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
All right, yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's got some funny music videos, but I think personality will carry you through your career. That's why people are just attached to a certain person.
Yep.
Just personality. You got good, likable personality, that'll ride you out through your whole life.
And you're good to people on the way up the ladder because you're going to see them on the way down, young man. And I wish you continued success in your regalia. I'm going to keep bothering you because I would love to come do a cameo with you boys because I find you guys to be the truth, the future, and you guys are just babies. I love it.
Thank you, man. Yeah, no, I'm down to always shoot some stuff.
All right, I'll holler at you soon. And that's it, baby. I'm going to let you get back to it.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for your time. Yes.
Care,
Talk to you soon,
I'll see you
baby.
in the desert.
All right, baby. Yes. All right. Thank you, Trevor. Thank you guys for watching. That dude's the best. I like him. And not only is he talented, he's a good guy, and I think that's going to carry him a long way. So I want you guys to remember that face. Go follow him on his social media, Trevor Wallace, all that, Instagram, YouTube, blah, 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 whatever. You know what he's doing. And go check it. Just scroll down. Like sit there with a friend, a loved one, your mom, your daughter, your girlfriend, your chihuahua, and sit there and scroll through his page and look at his gold. He's got some funny shit out there, and look for him to be the next big TV star one day. If he was a stock, right? I said this about Theo Von, big comedian. I said if you were a stock, I would have invested in you. This is one of those guys. I'm telling you, I got a knack for these things. All right. I love you guys. Stay healthy. Don't forget to drink water, stretch, and drink water orally. I will see you guys next time on Between the Speakers.